Hey guys, Bill Soriano here from Pittsburgh, and you guys know what to do there. I need you to, if you like my videos, I need you to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, put a comment in there, ask a question, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, tell me what you'd like to see more of, tell me what you'd like to see less of. Today I came on to do my weekly recap for the week of, let me check my calendar here. Yes, so that would be the week of May 4th, right? So this would be the weekly recap for my damn near 100% objective. Sorry about that. Thing that get screwed up there. My damn near 100% objective 4 hour supply demand trade plan, right? But before I get into that, I just want to mention that as many of you probably know, the community that I was with, community of Forex traders that I've been with for a while now, we used a certain platform. We were with a certain company called they changed their name just recently to IOVIA. Used to be IM Academy. Um, and what happened was the community, the leaders of the community had been with IM Academy for at least 8 years. I think it was over 8 years. And uh, it's a great company. We got nothing bad to say about it. A great partner. They've been a great partner for us. Um, Great education, great training. But the leaders in our community decided that it was best at this time for us to trade, to change platforms and move over to a different company. So we just recently did that. And if you watch my other videos, you've probably seen me mention that on them. And the new company is called Jifu. Okay. So before I get into my overview here, I just want to just give you guys a brief overview real fast of Jifu here. So let me just share my screen here real fast here. Okay, so I should be sharing my screen here, hopefully. Jifu. Right. So we certainly didn't lose anything with Jifu. We kind of gained a lot. And really, the two main educators that our community used actually moved over to Jifu as well. And they're bringing the impulse scanner with them, for those of you know about that. But with Jifu, it's one price for everything. Okay. And so as you see here, you get all six of these academies here for one price. They have a Forex Academy, crypto, e-commerce, social media mindset, and also finance. Okay, so you get all six of these for one price. Anytime they add something, they don't change the price. They also have the scanners. When we signed up a couple weeks ago, they had six scanners. Now they have seven. They added this Supernova scanner here. And on Monday or Tuesday of next week, our impulse scanner that Brandon Boyd and Dr. Josh Lee own is coming over. It's going to stay with the old company, but it'll come over here as well because those guys own it. They're going to do the training, the live education for it, just like they did at the other company. And it'll be called something else, but it's going to be here and it's an updated version on steroids, guys. So they were able to add some things to it with this new platform. So that's going to be here. So there'll be 8 scanners, and we also have a travel portal. So everything's there, guys. One of the things that was very interesting, though, is this golden era scanner. I did a video on this yesterday. And so if you guys are interested in trading gold at all, of course, in order to get access to these scanners and all this training, you have to become a customer of Jifu, right? So you can do that. Actually, we have a bonus offer. The company gave us a link to give people $50 off, but that link is going to expire on Monday the 12th, which is tomorrow at midnight Mountain Standard Time. So if you're interested in getting that link, let me know. But the Golden Era scanner, so I put a PDF up here. I did a overview video here yesterday, which is on right here on the PDF here. And I also downloaded an overview PDF that was provided by the company as well. And of course, you get access to this, my video here. But again, you have to become a customer of the company in order to get access to the scanner. And for one price, you get all 8 scanners. And if they add any more scanners, They're not going to change the price, guys. So right now, after Monday or Tuesday, where there will be 8, right now there's 7. You get the 6 academies, all the live training, all the educators, and you know, also the travel portal. They have a travel portal as well. So it's really exciting for us, guys. But let's get back then to the and by the way, if you go to my 100% damn near 100% objective 4-hour trade plan, just so you know, if you're looking for the link to that PDF file, I did update this right here. Are you interested in trading gold? Right. And here's the link to get to that Golden Era Scanner PDF overview page, right? It has my video on it explaining how the scanner is used. And probably this week, I'll probably do some videos, some update videos, just showing you some of the alerts that the scanner gives and, whether or not I would take them based on the other confirmations that you learned about in my video. And we'll see how things go there. But I'll probably put those updated videos on that PDF so that you can click on them there. So let's get to the weekly recap here. It was a kind of a pretty active week here. There were some trades that went off here. I'm just going to take you into my demo account again, guys. Since I brought up this demo account, that reminds me to keep in mind that this is my disclaimer. I'm not an investment advisor. I'm not qualified to give you investment advice. Anything that I tell you is always for educational purposes only. Forex is a risky proposition. You could lose all or part of your capital trading Forex if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't follow proper risk management. And above all, guys, anytime you try a new strategy, whether it's my strategy, your own strategy, the top guru in the world strategy, you always trade that on demo first so that you can test it out for yourself to see if it will work for you. And if it works for you, fine, then you can use it on a live account. If it doesn't work for you, then no harm, no foul. You tested it out on demo. You didn't lose any of your hard-earned investment capital. Okay, so right here, this was a trade in GBP USD. I'm going to use my demo account here to show you this because it tells me where I got in right here. So I know, and we're on the 30-minute time frame here. So again, as you know, this strategy, let me just to reiterate this strategy for you guys, because on the PDF, I haven't put an updated entry model video on here. Okay, but I did update the notes here. So basically, I don't want to bore you with everything, but as you know, we use the moving averages, right, to identify the trend bias on the 4-hour time frame. Once we have the trend bias, then we use the Lux Algo Smart Money Concepts indicator to give us the best supplier demand zone to trade from, going with that trend bias. So if the bias is bullish, we're looking for a demand zone. If it's bearish, we're looking for a supply zone. Supply and demand zones are just order blocks, right? It just all matters if you're selling or buying, right? If you're selling, it's from a supply zone. If you're buying, it's from a demand zone. Now, once price hits that zone, we then drop down to the lower time frame. So we drop down to the 1 hour. We wait to see if we can get an impulse candle that creates a buy or sell shift. And that buy or sell shift is determined using the 5 and the 13 EMAs, right? Then the change is that once we get that buy or sell shift on the 1 hour, we now drop down to the 30-minute. Okay, so this is not in this video right here. Okay, we drop down to the 30-minute. We wait for a change of character market shift, which is a choke. Okay, so basically we're getting that change of character on the 30-minute time frame. So we're basing on our trade actually on 30-minute structure. But since we're using the fib retracement tool to determine where to get in, right? Right. And obviously we like to get in at either the 71 or the 78.6, as long as we can get a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio on the trade, right? And of course we use we set our stop loss. I tell you all that here in the PDF, right? You set your stop loss at the top of the 4-hour supply zone or the bottom of the 4-hour demand zone. Use next supplier demand zone for take profit. If there's no supplier demand zone present, then use next higher low. So once you see what your target is and you see what your invalidation zone or stop loss is, you have to have at least a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio on the trade. So if you have that at the 71 fib, that's fine. You can set your limit order there. If you need to move it to the 78.6 fib, that's fine as well. And so the thing is, though, the 71 and 78.6, they're going to be the same place, regardless of if you're on the 30-minute, the 1 hour, or the 4 hour, 99% of the time, right? So, but you're still trading off of the 30-minute structure. And in the event that you can't get a 1-to-2 with those fib retracements, then you have to look for the refined 30-minute supply or demand zone that's created from that market change of character or choke, and you use that. So just important to understand that you're actually taking the trade off a 30-minute structure. It is a higher time frame strategy using the 4 hour to determine the trend and the supply or demand zone to trade from. Okay. So with that being said, we entered this trade here at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on May 7th. Okay. And you can see what happened here. We went quite a bit. It moved up initially. We went quite a bit into drawdown here. And now we finished the week in profit. And of course, since these are higher time frame trades, we hold them over the weekend. We don't pay a lot of attention to news, right? Except when we're getting in trades, okay, for this strategy, okay? If you watch that gold strategy video that I did, there's a lot of rules regarding the news because that's a 5-minute strategy, right? So you'll see that in my video if you watch it on the gold error scanner. Anyway, you can see how this is now a profit. Now, what's interesting about this trade here is if we go to GU here real fast. Okay, and you can see I have the indicator on right now. So this is the supply demand zone we traded from. It was a big zone. It was actually 2 zones put together here, and price did move into that lower zone, guys. And that's why you have to, if you have if you're setting your stop loss or your invalidation zone, and there's another 4 hour zone right below the one you're using to enter the trade, you have you have to use that for your stop loss. Okay. Right? Because if we would have set our stop loss at the bottom of the other zone, we would have got stopped out of a loss. Here, that doesn't happen. We're still in the trade. Okay. But now the interesting thing is we have a new 4 hour supply zone here. Because price moved lower, right? Because we got this change of character here as price moved lower, right? Went into drawdown and went down into that second zone there. We now have a new supplier demand zone. And what that means is that now we have to think about getting out of the trade if price moves to that area, because it could react off this area and then just move down, right? So more than likely, what we're going to do is we're going to move our take profit down to this area here, because it's not going to give us that much of a win, right? It's going to be less than 1%. But we have to do that because we have a new 4 hour supply zone. And so that changes our target. Okay. So it's important to understand that. That's not going to happen on all your trades. This is actually the first trade since I started this where it happened. Because most of the time when that happens, you end up losing the trade. So keep an eye on that. I'm probably going to move the stop loss on you or the take profit. Right. Now, the other trade we're in is GBP AUD. Okay. So GBP AUD, this one, we entered this trade right here. I believe that was 5:30 p.m. on the 6th, right? So that was a limit order that went off. It went into drawdown pretty deeply, and then it started moving up. Now, we did exit half of the position right here. You can see this red diamond here. So we did exit half the position in profit. And we moved our stop loss to break even at that time. So right now we're letting this trade run. We're hoping that it gets to our target up here. But if it moves back down, then we'll get stopped out in the second half of the position at break even. Okay. We do have a pending order in. The pending order was in on EURJPY. You remember? And as you could see here, what happened, we had this pending order in, but price did not come back, right? We didn't get a chance to get into the trade because price did not come back to the 71. Now, if you look at this here, it does actually come back right here and hit the 71. But unfortunately, at this time, we didn't have the limit order set. Okay. You could see here on the 30-minute time frame, price moves up, causes this change of character, right? And then if you would draw your fib from there to there, right? You could see the price does come back and hit the 71. So this would be a winning trade for us. Had we had our limit order set at that time, you could see price went all the way up to our target. Okay. But like I said, we didn't have our limit order set at this time. We didn't get to the charts until price had already moved up to here. So we had to move our fib and price never came back at that point. And now since price has hit to take profit or the target, you would no longer want to take this trade if price does move back down. Okay, so we will have to actually trading close right now. So, like I said, on GBP AUD or GBP USD, we have to change our take profit target. And on EURJPY, we have to just cancel this pending order because price already went all the way to the invalid to the profit target. Okay. So those were the trades that two trades I was in, one I missed. Now the other one that we got out of here, we were in a trade from last week. What was that? Let's see if I can find it over here. Right here, CAD Chef. So CADJPY was a trade that we got in. Actually, I think it was a couple weeks ago, right? You can see that our tools all the way back here, right? We actually got in this trade. I think we exit the trade so it doesn't show us where we got in it or out of it anymore. But basically, I looked at this trade and it was at break even, so I got out of it, right? So if you can see here, if we go to close positions here, you could see that we did exit this CAD CHF trade minus $7.81. We got out of break even because of the spread. But you could see here that for the last 7 days, our profit is still $726.90, right? So far this month, we are actually down $251.30. That's in May. Because this doesn't count the trades that are open, guys. This only takes into account closed trades. So it doesn't take into account the fact that we're up right here $1,089 on these two positions that we're in. So just takes into account closed positions. And so for the month of May, we're down 251. The last 30 days, we are up $3,623.04. So we're doing good with this strategy. We've been doing good with it. And like I said, actually that trade in GBP AUD or was it, I'm sorry, it wasn't, it was EUR JPY, the trade that we missed, right? Because it didn't come back for us, would have actually been a very good trade. And again, like I was showing you here on the 30-minute time frame, we did get this change of character here. So had we been looking at the charts, we would have probably gotten in to that trade. We would have had a limit order at the 71, like I showed you. Okay. So that's kind of what we looked at for the week here. AUD NZD, this was a trade that we couldn't take because we didn't have a 1-to-2 risk to reward. Okay. So what happened was this was our 4-hour supply zone to trade from, and we had a 4-hour demand zone. If I shut this off here, you can see what I'm talking about. We had a 4-hour demand zone right here. So we didn't have a 1-to-2 risk to reward, so we couldn't take that trade. CAD JPY was another trade that went off last week. Okay. So you could see here on the 4-hour time frame, price came back here, hit the 71. And so this trade here, we would have sold half the position and moved the stop loss to break even once price got down to here, right? And price came back up, didn't quite get all the way back to break even. So we would still be in this trade. But this is a very good trade. This trade would be in profit. It would have given us, again, we would have sold half the position. And if you're looking for those rules here, let me just show you this one more time here. Trade management, right? Set stop loss at top of 4-hour supply zone or bottom of 4-hour demand zone. Use the next supplier demand zone for take profit. If there is no supplier demand zone present to set the take profit, then you use the next high or low. Simple as that, right? That's for your target, right? You have to have at least a 1-to-2 risk to reward to take the trade, okay? So if you get that at the 71 retracement, you put your limit order there. If not, you have to put it at 78.2. If you still don't have it there, then you have to go all the way and find the 30-minute refined supplier demand zone to take the trade out. Okay. Now, once you are up in a trade by 2%, right? By 2%, you're going to sell half the position and move the stop loss to break even. Okay. Then you can trail the stop using highs or lows, right? Until price would come down, stop you out, or you hit take profit, you'll get out of the trade, or you notice that you've achieved a total of a 3% gain total on that trade, you can just exit. You can just exit at that time. Okay. So again, guys, this was the weekly recap for my damn near 100% objective 4-hour supply and demand trade plan, right? Very little subjectivity in it, right? We use the moving averages to determine the trend. We use the indicator, the Lex Algo Smart Money Concepts indicator to determine the supplier demand zone, right? We use EMAs to determine that a buy or sell shift once price hits our zone. We use a change of character that we look for on the indicator on the 30-minute. And then we set our fib retracement to take the trade, set the buy or sell limit. So it's damn near 100% objective. There are a couple instances where the indicator will give you a supplier demand zone, but you didn't actually get a break of structure, so it's not a valid supplier demand zone. Again, that happens about 1 out of 10 times, right? Also, sometimes on the 30-minute time frame, the indicator will give you a change of character that's not a true change of character. Okay, so a little bit of subjectivity there. A little bit of subjectivity in determining is that a valid supplier demand zone on the 4-hour. A little bit of subjectivity determining whether or not that's a actual choke on the 30-minute. After that, guys, there's really, it's all rules based, uh, using the indicators uh, to make your determination. Truly is. Okay. So again, make sure you get this. This is a free PDF. This trading strategy is free. But again, if you are interested in trading gold, um, you're going to want to watch my video here on this golden arrow scanner overview page that I made. And again, in order to get access to the golden arrow scanner and the other 7 scanners, along and all the live academies and the travel portal, like I showed you, you do have to join our company, which is Jifu. Okay. And if you do that, if you're watching this today or tomorrow on May 12th, 2025, or today on May 11th, 2025, we do have a special link for the company gave us to use since we decided to move everybody over. You could save $50, and that link is valid until Monday, tomorrow, midnight Mountain Time. Okay. So ask me for that link if you're interested. And have a great day, guys.